Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we have another lesson on North Indian classical music, and this is about another topic. It's about the hierarchy of notes in a scale in a raga. So let's get right into the endless ocean of music. Okay. The hierarchy of notes, that's something actually very, very important. It's about how important the individual notes in a scale or in a raga are. What importance do the individual notes have? And there's like a real hierarchy. There are different terms which I will explain to you now. Just in general, of course, all notes are important. I mean, you have that scale, and all notes have an importance. But there's in particular one note. It's called the Vadi, or the Vadi note. It's also you can also say that's a king note. That means that is actually the most important note. And this differs from raga to raga also how important it actually is in relation to the other notes. But mostly it's a real strong it's a strong note in the way that most or a lot of the movements in the raga, what you improvise or composition, will emphasize this note, either by circling around the note and always resolving to it, or also by that Vadi note is also held longer. Phrases rest on that note. This is really stressed, this note. It is actually like this has a huge part in creating, this is actually the Vadi note, and how you approach that, and that you really emphasize it, has really a strong contribution to the mood of the raga. So, for example, we have the Raga Desh, which is going like. Okay, that's just Avaroi and Aroi and Avaroi, so upward and downward. It's Aurav Sampurn. It means like 5 notes going up. And Sampurn, 5 notes like Mixolydian going down. The Vadi note is Re, so it's the F sharp when I have the rag in E. So it's like, it's this note, F sharp. So when I land on that, I do all kinds of movements. Yeah? All kinds of movements and will rest on this ray. So it really has, the rag actually really gets a certain kind of a mood with doing that. And this gets, in this case, actually, in this raga, I think it's very, very obvious. When you, like the normal, let's say, the normal Western thinking is about chords. It's about arpeggios and scales. And the scales are in the framework of the arpeggio, arpeggio. So what you normally have when you take, for example, Desh, it's like a major, it's a major chord, the basis. If you just take all the notes together, you will have the chord tones of when you start from the root, you have an E major triad, an E major chord. Of course, the seventh is going up with a major seventh and down with a minor seventh. But anyway, the basic chord is E major. So when you look at that from a Western perspective, you would say, okay, the chord tones E, G sharp, B, they are very important. So, and that is really like a very strong, a very big difference between like the Indian raga music and the Western music. Because, for example, in this case, if you show the G sharp, the major third, too much, or if you really emphasize that, it becomes a real complete different mood, actually. So that's something what is really, in a way, more unique or different from the Western system. It's really, it's not. I mean, I show you some movements in Desh, like always going. And what just happened, just very briefly, but when I stay longer on the G sharp, it becomes something complete different. Listen to the difference. Like this is like a very typical movement of Desh. It's like and that's the mood here. So try to get this mood, this phrase here. So it's just G sharp, F sharp. Yeah, I'm quickly resolve in a way this G sharp. I don't show it too long. If I show it longer, now if I go to the G sharp, maybe you hear that. I mean, maybe it also takes a while when you play more on Desh and then do that to really understand the mood. But when I play the G sharp, this typical mood of Desh is gone. Yeah, I show this from when I go from this Western perspective. I would show the G sharp and stay on that because this is my beautiful major third of the basic chord. So it gives a color. But when I do that, Desh, the mood of that raga is lost. I have to. For sure, I have to always be more on this F sharp. I have to go to F sharp. G sharp should be very weak in a way. It should be like just approaching F sharp from up. And also, I'm not allowed to go from F sharp to G sharp, for example. If I do that movement, that is a mistake actually. That's really a mistake in that raga. And that's not like just a theoretical thing. It's about mood, you know. You create a different mood by showing the G sharp too much and by going from F sharp to G sharp in a way. Because of course, G sharp is very strong. It's really strong in the harmonic series. So always going to F sharp is working just a very bit against the natural laws, how it naturally would maybe resolve. But that's exactly the how do you say, the reason, or that's the That's why actually this resolving to F sharp is like different. I mean, like interesting. Like it has of course it has a bit more like tension as G sharp, and you in a way you rest more on a kind of a tension, and this tension has a certain quality and is mainly responsible for or not, yeah, mainly, I mean it's really with some other factors really responsible for the mood of Desh. So this kind of a thing. All right, you may hear, if you come really from this tradition, Raga tradition, then I'm not really like really clear and good about this whole thing. And later on, when we had this like a complete overview course on the different topics of the North Indian classical music, I will go into a bit like different direction where you see what I'm doing with this thing, how I translate these concepts. So that's why it's a good thing now to just understand the tradition of the North Indian classical music, to understand later more how they are processed now here in my music, or like to in a way take these concepts but translate them more in the Western or also in the Makam culture field. So to gain in a way to get the interesting things and put them together and create something different, what combines in a way all these different ways of thinking and these different musical cultures. Okay, so Vadi is the most important, the king note, and we also talked about Purvang and Uttarang, lower and upper tetrachord, or limp, not only tetrachord but also pentachord possible. So this re is of course in the lower tetrachord, so that's why Desh, that raga, is called also like Purvang. Yeah, so the most important note is in the lower tetrachord. When you have a Vadi note, or like a Vadi note also always comes with a Samvadi note. And the Samvadi note is like a kind of a counterpart which is in the other tetrachord. So in this case it's in the upper tetrachord we have the note Pa. So the fifth, the perfect fifth. That's the Samvadi note. It's like the prime minister, you can call them. Ali Akbar Khan once called that note like that. And also, by the way, there is a PDF file down in the description below, which you should download to really get the full package. There are also a lot of stuff which I'm not really talking about here in this lesson. So, and also there are some maybe more description. So go there, and also it supports my channel, so that would be really good to take advantage of the things you can get here. Okay, so the Samvadi note, so it's on Pa, so that's also an important note. So, kind of. And the interesting thing is also that the Vadi note and the Samvadi note are always, almost always, not always, but most of the time they are either a fifth, a perfect fifth, or a perfect fourth apart. So that's why actually this interval between these two notes is called Samvad. And Samvad means consonant note. So in a way, like Samvadi is like the note which is consonant to the Vadi note, you can say. Okay, then you have Anuvadi. Anuvadi, these the notes which are not Samvadi or Vadi, they are Anuvadi, so they are not so important, notes. So they are there, but they are not stressed in a way. Of course, some are more weak, some are more strong, and like the terms, how you call that in Indian music, they are all on the PDF. So you have also like some like vocabularies which are used in the North Indian classical tradition. All right, so, and another thing you have, of course, that is not, you can say it's not really like a part of a raga, but it also can happen, especially with really like more experienced musicians, and that is to also use notes which are really completely out of the raga. Like really, it's like you can say it's like poison. And these notes are called Vivadi notes. Vivadi notes, you have to be very, very careful with them. And they are really not written down, actually. They're just like shown like very, very, very hidden in a way. But they can make something very, they can really add like flavor. But if they're really heard and really clear, you ruin the whole raga. So these are like very advanced techniques, so to speak, to use a Vivadi note. And I think a good example, it's what I found out for myself. Actually, there is like which I like very much, and I think this could be a good example of that kind of note. But it's not a raga in a way. If I'm in E minor. Yeah. So what I can do, for example, instead of going from F sharp or F sharp, E, G, yeah, just that. Sometimes I really like to show a quick F natural when going from F sharp to G in between. Listen. So it's very brief. It's not that, but it's, yeah, and if I stay there too long on the F, I ruin the whole thing. But when I use it like very briefly, it opens some kind of mood, some kind of space, and which I like very much. And of course, you can always relate that to other things, to maybe other ragas in this case, but also to like microtonal thinking. Okay, you're using in a way this also goes a bit in the direction of Ushak or Husseini in Makam music, to use actually a lower major second. But I'm really using the F. Yeah? Just very briefly, I use the F where it's actually not appropriate to use that. So I think that's a very good example of a Vivadi note if you look from the Raga perspective. Okay, I think that's more or less it. It's really what I explained you. It's just a part of that what's written in the PDF. So download the PDF, get all the informations. So I mean, just in general, to sum up this lesson, you just you have like a hierarchy of notes. You have like the strongest note or the strongest notes. Then you have more weaker notes. Then you have notes which you rest more. Then you have other notes which are creating tension. For example, in Desh, like the Ni, the Shud Ni, and the Shud Ma is creating tension. If you very nice tension, and sometimes you stay there also a little bit longer. Of course, it resolves. And also Ma. Ma creates the force, perfect force, creates tension also. So you have tension notes, and then you have so you have strong and weak notes, and you have these Vivadi notes, which you normally not consider too much with a raga, but so they are the enemy notes, and you have to handle them very carefully not to ruin the raga. And these note functions actually you can really talk about. In a raga, you can really say this note is a weak note, this has tension and wants to resolve, and this is the most strong note. You always have to show that. You have to approach that note. And these notes are forbidden, but that note you can use as a Vivadi note. So it's like you can speak about the whole thing. Maybe some musicians also of different gharanas, of different stylistic regions of North Indian classical music, they may use it a very bit like differently, but mainly you can say these are really rules, really strong connected with the raga and the mood of that raga. So it's really like a fixed thing. Yeah, it's really fixed that this is the most important note, the Vadi note, and so on. So it's so what I would suggest, just as a kind of a assignment you can do, is just take a scale, a normal scale, mode, church mode, or whatever, and improvise with that, play around with that, and think yourself, find out which notes are creating tension, which are more resting places, and what happens actually if you rest more on one note or on another note. What different kind of moods that is creating. So, and then find out like a kind of a like rules. You just create rules. You say, okay, that's like my Phrygian scale, and my flat 2 is my most important note, which I always have to show, and like the 7th is like the tension note or whatever, and then write it down and try to improvise or compose, play around in that with that context, with these concepts, with these ideas. And as I said, get the PDF, and there you have maybe some more more input for that assignment. All right, that's it. That's it for that lesson. You can also donate, of course, to support this channel. That's what I have to mention here. It's you just go down in the description below on my website. There you find a button where you can donate. Okay, that would be really cool. So, thanks for watching. My name is Huub Hildenbrand.